Kokomo City. This is a documentary that sadly did not get an Oscar nomination this year, but it has rolled onto Paramount Plus, and it's actually not very long. So if you're looking for things that fell short of a documentary nomination this year, but um, deserve to be in the conversation, then check this out because it's about an hour and 13 minutes. That's not that much time of your life. Anyway, um, but it doesn't have audio description, so if you don't want to watch it, that's fine. It's very conversational, but also I never really had any context as to what anything looked like or where anything was. So yeah, there's that. But back when I could see, I saw a lovely documentary called Paris is Burning. And to draw a direct comparison, because yeah, um, you kind of have to here. I think the ladies of Paris is Burning would be both overjoyed and still saddened that in 2023 Kokomo City existed, for two reasons. One, because at least this documentary, to my knowledge, doesn't feature anybody who has been murdered, which Paris is Burning does. So, not that time won't change that, but as the rate of murder and suicide in the trans community is exponentially higher than any other community out there. But at least that's something. I believe we've been watching Paris is Burning for a while and not necessarily had, I don't think everybody has that context of what happened to the people featured in Paris is Burning. Dead is the answer to all of those answers. Simply the time period, aging, HIV, again, murder, lots of reasons why those featured in Paris is Burning didn't live to see a long, healthy, fruitful life. But maybe the ladies in Kokomo City will. And maybe that's the takeaway. The one thing that hasn't changed is both documentaries feature at least conversation on trans sex work. So while they were having to do it back in the days of Paris is Burning, they're still having to do it in Kokomo City. And that's kind of actually the focus of Kokomo City. We've lost the balls. Excuse me. I mean, I did that on purpose. What I mean by lost the balls is if you ever watched Pose, those balls, not the balls of, anyway, yes. So where this community would gather together and put on their best and I can't remember what the three things are that Billy Porter says at the beginning of that show, but Pose was based largely on the same things that Paris is Burning has featured in the show, which are these great, extravagant shows where these ladies get to show off just how fantastic they are. Here, they're just sex workers talking about what it's like to be a trans sex worker, which is kind of the point of the documentary. What it's like in 2023 to be that for a group of girls in Miami. And yeah, I mean, I feel like it's representational. I feel like it portrays these women as they want to be portrayed and doesn't try to portray them either as victims of circumstance or tragic stories. Every woman that tells their own story gets to tell their own story in their own vibrant way. And it's a much more upbeat movie with a much more upbeat vibe to it, especially as the movie plays out at the end. You just get a feeling that, like, the people who made Kokomo City feel a lot more optimistic about the future of their cast members, because this movie won't play well in 10 years if all of them are dead. So I'm just gonna say that. It's really morbid to think that, but it's also having to watch Paris is Burning in later on in life after, and then looking that up and seeing, you know, what happened individually to each person who's featured in Paris is Burning is incredibly sobering once you've watched this amazing documentary with all these lovely people, and realizing that you're standing here in this moment and you couldn't talk to a single one of them if you wanted to. So this is daringly optimistic about its about the future of its women, and I hope so too. Um, it has them telling some fun stories, some interesting stories. It interviews some guys, which is really interesting that guys are willing to be interviewed. That alone shows how far we've come in 2023. Even if we're still focusing on trans sex workers, at least we're talking about guys, and with guys in here that are willing to show their face for, you know, to be on camera or to talk to a documentarian about the concept. Um, and that sort of is how much we've evolved and how much we've changed. Um, I think I don't know if I would have enjoyed, I don't know if it's because of the audio description, the lack of audio description, that I didn't quite connect with this on the level that I thought I would. Um, but I was kind of looking forward to this. I kind of heard what it was and was getting, and I felt like it was good, but it didn't quite dive in like I wanted it to, into this world. And it's interestingly, it's a world that we continue to talk about also in feature. Like Sean Baker's Tangerine is a fantastic film that also features trans sex workers played by actual trans actresses. So yeah, this is we're continuing to move forward, and this is what the future of Paris is Burning looks like. Paris is burning, but Kokomo City is not. Kokomo City is everything seems a lot more chill in Kokomo City. Everything, although the girls do acknowledge the fact that they are sometimes scared, and they do watch their back, and they have to make sure that they have like exit strategies, and they've heard some things that have happened to some others. And I mean, there's it's like an undercurrent under this one. It's not quite prominently thrown in your face, but so is Paris is Burning, and then it just happened, you know. So Paris is Burning, those girls are incredibly optimistic about their future and their life and where they see and where they want to be. So I don't think that that's necessarily any different. I have nothing but love and hope for everybody who's featured in Kokomo City, and I really hope this doesn't age poorly in that regard, because Kokomo City takes a much bolder approach to being even more like, no, we're doing better now. It's 2020, 2023. Everything is, we've improved. The trans community's got it better, and they don't have to hide so much. And I hope that's true. I hope this isn't something that, yeah, that we look down the line and we look back on Kokomo City and go, oh God, because it has a nice little play off of the little dance off of music towards the end. It feels very optimistic and celebratory, and like, yeah, let's go ahead and let's seize the day. And that's really all I got. It's hard to talk about this film without any context or audio description. I wasn't even 100% sure how many people were being featured in the documentary. I think it's a handful of women that I could follow their stories, and then like a couple of guys that just casually. I love the guy that's like, I love going after the girls that no one else goes after. I'm like, but you only like the ones that you find attractive, right? Because there's another side to that one. There's so many ways to interpret that. You know, like I love going after that. I love going after women who don't leave their houses, who sit sit online all the time in front of TVs, and no other man thinks to go and knock on their door and say, "What's up, lady? What's up?" You know, I don't know. I just that guy cracked me up. I thought he was really funny. I know where it was going, but eventually it was going to go. But there's so many other ways when you start bragging about. I love going after the ladies that no one else is going after. That they're too afraid. They're too afraid. You love going after like MMA fighters. Like what are you attracted to? I like when my girl looks like she could beat me up. she's she's trained professionally. You know, I mean, that really could have gone anywhere. But that dude was funny. And even the takeaway from his conversation was he was like, "Yeah, I saw this girl, and I was like, damn, she's fine. Oh, she's trans." And then I was like, "Nah, so you don't like going after the girls." Is what you're saying. That guy must have been a fun interview. I don't know where they found him, but I'm so glad they included him in this film. The film isn't even about him. I just loved his little commentary on life. just I just thought of so many things. He made me giggle. Some of the stories from some of the girls made me giggle. It's on Paramount Plus right now with Showtime, I think. I think you have to Showtime that on. And it has been a strong year for documentaries. And sadly, the whole time I was watching Kokomo City, I was thinking about Paris is Burning. And I thought Paris is Burning still just towers. It just towers over this film. Paris is Burning is one of the best documentaries I've ever watched. Not just like from its year, how we talk about from year to year. We go, best documentary of this year. I think Paris is Burning is one of my 10 favorite documentaries of all time. So Kokomo City had a road ahead of it. It had a steep climb and high expectations of what it was going to bring to the table. That we didn't say, God, almost at least 35 years ago? It's been 35 years for Paris is Burning? Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna give Kokomo City a B+. There you go. I went ahead and rated it. It's mostly talking. I do feel a little bit like I missed some stuff because of audio description, but it is also mostly just interviews put together. It's not really like a documentary where you feel like they're taking the camera out on the streets and just like voyeuristic style. It's not like that. It's mostly just somebody's talking to a camera, someone's talking to a camera, someone's talking to a camera, someone's talking to a camera. Maybe a little bit of something for a second as a transition. Someone's talking to a camera, someone's talking to a camera. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I have a website, MacMovieGuy.com. You can go to X-Threads or Instagram and follow me at MacMovieGuy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.asb.org, and let you know what does have audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the ADNA.org. That's the ADNA.org, and let you know who's narrating your favorite films and television series. That's it for me today. I will watch something else and see you guys on the other side.